I'm Heather Ann Hendrickson. I'm the crazy lady that you have been chatting with throughout this whole party. I am excited that you have decided to join us. I hope you have seen a lot of great books. I'm so excited to help you make momming a little easier, as well as getting that shelf some help. So I can't wait to share a few more books with you. And by a few, I mean like 20, because I can never decide what's best. So I pulled some of the books that we don't normally show that I think would be great right now while we're all in quarantine, while we're trying to educate our kiddos. Now, I'm a homeschooler, so I'm constantly educating my kiddos, and I've got them everywhere. I've got books all over the place that we use because we love these in our homeschool room. And I know that you guys will find them very educational, but the key is making that education fun. And we have the best books for doing that. So we take information that Peter Usborne, he looks at for that information that's up here, and he presents it away for the younger kids to understand. Does that mean that these books are for younger kids? No, I'm trying to share with you guys that these books are really for all ages. So I've got some books here that I want to share with you. So let's get to it. The first that we're going to start with is those kids that love the outdoors, because I mean, come on, we've all got those kids that absolutely want to be outdoors all the time. So think about things like our Never Get Bored Outdoors book. And if you have a kid that loves to do stuff indoors, the Never Get Bored book is fantastic for giving them examples of things to do and ways to work on that. So I love that really for about 6 years old and up. It's perfect even for middle and high schoolers. So things like these are our journals. We have two. We have a nature, and this one happens to be a star journal. It is fabulous because it gives you little tips and tricks for stargazing, gives you some information on constellations, and it's just absolutely beautiful to keep your notes in. Wonderful for those older kiddos. How about this? Maybe you guys want to start gardening. We have Gardening for Beginners and the Book of Growing Food. What I love about these is that they are spiral bound, so they lay flat. They are great for all ages. It's presented in a way to help elementary school students really work on it, but the material's about a 4th or 5th grade reading level. So you really can use this for any time. I actually use this myself as far as growing food. It helps me plan my garden, and I love that. It's great for container vegetables as well. Or this one for slightly older kids. This is our woodland book, and I love using this with my kiddos when we go outside. Be a woodland bird watcher, and it talks about the different types of birds. It has woodland creatures that you can find out there, but it's gorgeously illustrated, and we talk about so much when we go outside, all the different types of tree bark, and it's got a great glossary. Love those. And then things like our nature activity book. We have lots of activity books. Maps is probably my son's favorite, but we love these. It gives them kind of ideas of what to do. It's a great way to get them outside too. So check those out if you have an outside nature lover. Or maybe you have a kid who loves different hobbies or wants to learn a new hobby during this time period. What about chess? We have great books on learning chess. My first chess book is really for 5 and up, and then this chess book is for older kiddos. It's a great way to share tips and tricks on how to play chess. I can't wait for our chessboard to come in so that my son can start playing chess. I love that. Or maybe cooking is a thing for you guys. This is a great cookbook because it combines cultural significance with a certain area as well as the food that they make. So it gives you kind of ideas about food to make with that area. This happens to be paella from Spain. Love, love, love this one. And again, spiral bound. I love that concept. Or maybe they love art. So think about it. Maybe they're 4 and up. The step-by-step drawing books are fabulous. I love these because they're easy to do. I stink at drawing, and I can even make ones that look halfway decent. So I love that. They give you a great starting point. Or maybe you have a slightly older kiddo who wants something like the 365 things to draw and paint. I think these are gorgeous. It gives you ideas on what to do and then tips and tricks on how to do them and how to make them work. Most of the stuff people have in their home that they can use. Or for our older kids, these books are for 10 and up. They are true art classes. This is drawing animals. We have drawing faces, and we have drawing, now I'm blanking on that one. Drawing animals, drawing faces, drawing cartoons is the last one. But it's truly an art class, if you can see that. I love that it shows exactly what you need to do to draw them in a way that an art teacher would do so. So that's really cool. Or maybe you've got a computer kid. And we're going to talk technology in just a second. But for those older kids, things like coding for beginners using Python, this book is for 9 and up. It literally walks you through how to code using Python. It gives you things to practice on the computer, and it gives you an outlet for doing that coding. So you're not reprogramming your computer, but there is a website that you can use for that. Or maybe you have a younger kid. This is my first computer programming book using Scratch Junior. We love this one. This is perfect for kids 5 and 6, depending on their reading level, and up, and it really gets them interested in how to code, not just play on a computer. So we love those. Now, let's talk technology, because we have tons of kids who absolutely are addicted to technology, but let's get them going in a direction that's going to produce money or income when they're older. Doesn't necessarily need a degree, but is going to be fun. So we have our STEM scribble books. STEM scribble books are phenomenal. I love the technology one. It's wonderful in looking for things like data mining or how you're going to use AI technology. And it gives them step by step what they would do in that field. These are geared towards 10 and up. So the material is not low, but it's like, what is technology and how you go about getting that next big idea. So it gives you kind of a breakdown on how to do that. Cable networking, all of that idea. So these are our STEM books. We have math, we have science. Our newest one is inventions. And then of course, this is probably still my favorite. Again, these are for 10 and up. This is the engineering scribble book. It takes you through what the different forms of engineering are, civil, aerospace, all of that. But then it's going to take you through conceptualization all the way through being able to get to the root of that problem and get something on paper about what to do about it. So I like that. And then it's going to give you real life world examples for you to use that process of an engineer and solve. So they're fantastic for being able to get you into the mind of what an engineer does. Have a kid that's a little bit younger, but still loves that professional type idea. Maybe wants to be a vet or a scientist or a doctor, an entrepreneur, or maybe an engineer or astronaut. We have these scribble books Junior, essentially. These are academy books, and they walk you through in a very young fashion on how to be that, what that profession does. It gives you activities to do in the book, which I do like that idea that it's getting in the book. These are for 7 and up, and they walk you through the profession. So this is Engineer Academy. Astronaut Academy is probably one of my son's favorite. We've done that one a couple of times now. I've bought a few of those. So maybe you have a science lover. Now, science is my thing. I taught middle and high school science and math for years. This is for your younger kids. This is for your 6 and up, really even younger than that. This is science things to make and do. And so you're going to talk about science activities. We would pull things out of this forever. Like we would just pull 1 or 2 and do it a day. When my son was in kindergarten, we loved that one. We also have 365 science activities. That one is also phenomenal. I like that. We use that now. So we'll pull material based on whatever we're covering. But my son has started going through it and going, ooh, I like that. Let's do that. And so we'll pull it out and we'll do it. Most of the stuff you have at home, so you don't have to worry about going and buying it. These are the 2 newest ones that I absolutely adore. This is the chemistry of cola and the biology of bananas. Do not be fooled. They do not only deal with cola and bananas. If they're kitchen science, essentially, and if you look at the table of contents, you're going to talk about things like plants, food, you or humans, and then the world, and you get to do experiments in here. So for instance, under food, you might make yogurt or talks about yeast and balloons. So you're gonna do carbon dioxide production. It is phenomenal in the way that it's presented. It takes hard concepts and presents it in a way that kids in middle school and even elementary school can understand. These books are geared towards 12 and up, and they are lots and lots of fun. Chemistry of cola and biology of bananas. Now, if you have a puzzle person, we have things like our maze cards. These are our Never Get Bored maze cards for the younger ones. The mazes are rather challenging for maybe 5, 6, and 7-year-olds. My son really does love those. But what about jigsaw puzzles? Because we have those too. We have 12-piece jigsaw puzzles all the way up to 300-piece. And what's great about them is they all come with a book. How cool is that? So we have things like flags, or we have the world, and it comes with an atlas. This one comes with a fold-out solar system, which is really neat, 200-piece puzzle. Or maybe something like the periodic table. It's a 300-piece puzzle, and it comes with a great book about the periodic table. So it's going to break everything down into color-coded pieces on the periodic table. Let's get it. So you've got the periodic table color-coded, and then you're going to have each of those groups put together here. Now, what's also great is the very beginning is going to talk about elements and atoms. And if you want more of this kind of thing, we just have a new See Inside Atoms and Molecules. And we also have this book as a Lift the Flat book called Lift the Flat Periodic Table. Fabulous. Now, what about those readers? Last one, guys. What about those kids who absolutely adore reading? We have so many series that are phenomenal for kids, from mystery to adventure to just girly stuff. This is probably one of my favorites. This is Boy Band of the Apocalypse. It's all family oriented and it's lots of fun. It's great for about 9 and up. It is fabulous to read. Yes, that's coming from a 40-something. Hi. But we also have things for those kids who love to read, but they're into nonfiction. Things like our Extraordinary Life series. This is Katherine Johnson. We have them on Stephen Hawking. We have it on so many different people. There are 6 of them in the series currently. We also have a nonfiction series on dinosaurs that's created by a paleontologist who really hates that we're still teaching the same material that we thought we were teaching 20 years ago. And paleontology has changed so much. He's taken a book for each of the major dinosaurs and he's created their own chapter books as well. So check those out if you have nonfiction chapter book lovers. Or maybe you have someone into historical fiction. These are geared towards 11 and up. This is our Chelsea Walk series. It's the girls series, as some people call it. It's historical fiction, 3 stories in each book. And they are all based on a time period. So this one happens to be 1764 through 1857. They go up to modern day times, and it's all about girls who live at 6 Chelsea Walk. Love it. It is a fabulous series if you have a girl who absolutely adores that type of fiction. Or we have our illustrated classics. We love illustrated classics and illustrated originals. These are phenomenal if you have a classics lover. Around the World in 80 Days, Alice in Wonderland, one of my favorite, Little Women. So many in this series that are absolutely phenomenal. I love these books. We read them all the time. And then Jason and the Argonauts. We have so many in the graphic legends and graphic classics book series. They are graphic novels, but they're not kiddie novels, right? They're teaching great literature in a way that really gives kids an interesting look into it. So we have this, we have Thor, we have, if you have kids that love Greek and Norse mythology, we have things like the Hound of the Baskervilles, Sherlock Holmes, right? We have things like Dracula or Robin Hood. I love this series. It is phenomenal if you have a kid who loves graphic novels. So these are just some ways to get kids interested in reading, interested in doing something while they're not just sitting on the couch. It helps our lives. Mama needs help. And it helps our shelves as well. So they're books that kids will be coming back to over and over again. I hope you've enjoyed our party. We have several more posts to go. I will see you guys on the other side. Thank you guys. Have a great time.